It's the start of rainy season in Liberia, one of the wettest countries in the world. 6 months of torrential rains will wipe out roads and cut off access to remote border villages where thousands of Ivorian refugees have settled. Already, getting food and medicine is a logistical nightmare. On this day, the World Food Programme has run out of dry rations. With so many challenges, the sharing of information hasn't been a priority for humanitarian agencies.
I'm close to information because I run away. I don't have a radio. I don't have no network for me to call.
Edwin K. has a mobile phone, but there's no cellular network here. Refugees must walk 2 hours to get coverage. Kay stumbles across the International Committee for the Red Cross giving out free calls to family members using an expensive satellite phone. He didn't know about the service until now.
You see, the problem is the communication. Some NGO coming, they giving free calling. And I don't know.
More than 150,000 Ivorians have crossed the border into Liberia due to political crisis and violence in Côte d'Ivoire. They arrive exhausted, hungry, and sometimes traumatized from war. Where they choose to stay presents a unique challenge for humanitarian organizations. Only a small fraction have moved into camps where it's easiest to help them. Most are choosing to stay in the bush or remote villages, making it difficult to give them life-saving services or information. In April 2011, an Internews team in eastern Liberia assessed Ivorian refugees' abilities to access accurate and timely information about their refugee status, where they can receive news from home, and aid services. The assessment revealed that very few refugees have access to cell phones. If they do, they can't afford phone credit or have trouble charging their phone. In particular, women have less access to information than men.
More information. She didn't get radio, she didn't get nothing. She didn't get radio, she didn't get nothing.
Of those interviewed, more than 90% of women said radio is the best way to reach them with information in French or their local dialect. Yet, only 8% of them have access to a functioning radio. 85% of women say they want to hear more information about the situation in Côte d'Ivoire and contact with family. At Old Logowatuo town, a small village right next to the border, this mother of 9 has found shelter in Frederick Wanlia's house. The Liberian man has a radio, but must fiddle with the battery to get it to work. And most of the programming on the community radio station is in English. Kardake Bernadette only understands French and her local dialect, Yakoba. The radio doesn't give me any information, she complains. She wants to hear news from home or information on food distribution or education for her children.
Fully aware that most of your food has been shared with the refugees. The government of Liberia is...
At Radio Karn Voice of Peace, the announcers admit they only broadcast 2 programs a week in French or the local dialect. Most of their news is in English. Sam Matalda sometimes reads messages from the United Nations Refugee Agency or Liberian government in a language the refugees can understand. Community radio should be a lifeline for refugees, he says.
They really need more information about what is going on in our country and also what is happening around them so that they will feel secure.
And for those scattered out in the remote villages, soon to be inaccessible during the rainy season, getting information will become even more difficult and more important to their physical security and well-being.